This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Woo! It's the award show that everyone's been talking about. God damn, Timbo, we're here. We did it, baby.
2021.
That's right. 2021. We made it.
We made it.
We are down a guy. We are down Devin Tejada. He is, I think, fingering his dog's asshole. I don't really exactly know what he's doing, but he's running a little late, so we're not going to give any awards out right now. Let people kind of come in and flow in and all that shit. But yeah, it's good. Listen, we got another weekend of no UFC. Next weekend's another. It's good. It's a good NFL. You and I are NFL guys
For sure.
so it's a great wild card weekend. I'm really looking forward to the wild card games, but no UFC, right? And I haven't been betting on NFL at all this year. I'm ready for it, the UFC to come back. You know, this extended break is nice and stuff. Like, you know, because last night I had dinner with like some friends, and like usually I wouldn't have done that because it's Saturday, but I'm ready for it to come back, man. I'm just
3 events in 7 days.
I love it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna have to take off work or take an option day because the January 20th card is 8 a.m. It's Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Oh, God damn it.
They did it so like it's Abu Dhabi time, like prime time for them. That's what I read. Hopefully they change it, but I doubt it. But that's the Magni Chiesa.
Okay.
But
who was on that? That was Kamzat and
that was
right?
Right. That was the originally Chimaev. So now I got to take my seniority date at my job is January 2nd. I've been there 14 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn, brother.
So I get my option days. You get 2. You can't save them. And I got to fucking burn 1 in January 20th, man.
Hey man, fuck it.
But listen, hey, I got it. I got to get what I got. I got to do it, you know? But yeah, so I read that. Hopefully that will change, but I don't think it will. But yeah, we're here. We got some great categories. I love it. I want to hear all your guys' input on these categories. What is the category that you're looking for the most to? We can say what they are if you have them off top hand. You know what I'm really looking forward to? I think the most spirit debate we're gonna have is the MMA Takes 2020. Who the fuck is this guy? Which is our rookie of the year, debut of the year.
Yeah,
I know who Devin's gonna pick. I'm kind of curious.
You gonna go chalky with that? Because
yeah, he's gonna go mainstream, fucking corporate dev. I don't know who you're going to pick. Don't tell me who you're going to pick. I think I have a guy. I have 2 guys that I'm going to talk about that I think are interesting, but I don't know who your play is going to be. The You Should Be Traded award. I'm going to be interested in see who you guys think on that because I have some guys on here that are fan favorites.
Oh, likewise. I got a big one.
I think. And I know there's one guy on here that you and I have communicated with that maybe. I mean. He's popular, but maybe should be. Well, I'm not going to try to give anything up. But I'm just fill some time here while Devin fucking, peanut butters his balls for his dog or whatever.
Jesus Christ, Dev.
Yeah, and then the Hey Pussy still there, the feud of the year. That's going to be interesting. I didn't have many. I have 2 real ones and 1 like jokey one, but the one's like real though. Like
me and Dev were talking about it, and he's just telling me everything that he's going to do. I'm like, Dev, save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast.
He always whenever we have something like this, he's like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do? I was like, bro, I'll save it for the podcast.
On the fucking podcast.
Because he said A, B, and then I was like, no, there's a C too. And he was like, well, who do you think it is? I was like, no, save it for the podcast. He's like, you just don't have one. There isn't another one. I was like, dude, I think it's the most. He said some obvious ones, but the one I'm thinking of is the most obvious, and we'll obviously get to it later.
I have one that I think is funny. I wrote it down, but then I'm like, you know what? That could kind of win it, right? That's the only category where I kind of struggled because I was going back over some of the feuds, and I mean, I personally think there wasn't. It's not like we named it after John Jones roasted Daniel Cormier.
Yeah,
I mean, DC and Stipe kind of had a feud, but it was like kind of tame a little bit. It was a trilogy fight. I mean, they were okay with each other, but it wasn't like bad blood. Mm-hmm. Connor obviously fought Cowboy in 2020, but they were buddies.
Yeah.
And
this year is definitely the year of the. I mean, there's like I said, there definitely were some, and they were just smaller scale guys. But you didn't have the TJ versus Cody. You didn't have the Nate versus Connor. You didn't have. Is that Dev? Is that
No, I switched
okay.
the reviews up a little bit. No, he's not here yet.
You didn't have, you didn't have that bad blood, the DC John.
Right.
Those are all these bad blood fights, and we didn't really have any of those this year in a large scale.
I think COVID ruined a lot of it, because so many fights got canceled. Like fights that had some heat got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Fighters really performed. Like Kevin Holland had one of the best years of his career. Brian Kelleher probably made the most money of his career because they really took advantage of, like, I'll fight every fucking weekend. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of 3 months off. Let's go. And they fought everybody. I mean, Kevin Holland at this point should have. I mean, I don't know if I doubt he's ranked, but he's got a following enough name. That Charlie Otovelos guy that he like slammed on his, like broke his neck. Like, he shouldn't have fought that guy, but he's like, fuck it, I want to fight. Like, I love that. Kind of like that spirit of like, I want to get in there.
The Brazilian, goddamn it, I can't. The legend he just beat on his knees.
Oh yeah, Jacare. Yeah,
Jacare. Yeah, Jacare had to have been ranked because Jacare had a win over Weidman not too long ago.
Yeah, he was. I believe Jacare was ranked. I don't know if Holland is. I mean, I got a computer right. Let's fucking use technology. 2021.
2021, baby, we made it.
We made it, baby. A lot of adversity. Fought through some stuff. I think Kevin Holland should be ranked.
Absolutely,
he's ranked. He's 10. That makes that makes sense. He's just above my boy Chris Weidman. My boy.
I think Weidman's got a fight coming up, don't he?
Yeah, he's fighting. God damn it! Why can't I remember who he's fighting? It's a good matchup for him, I think, and I think he's gonna win. And I don't know why I can't remember who it is. I want to see him rematch Rockhold, but I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean that could co-main. Like, those are two former champions. They're not well past their prime. They're like 30,
right,
35. Like,
Uriah Hall. That's it. Rematch Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall fight was the fight that got him to the UFC. He knocked out Uriah Hall. I think back in Jersey or New York, they fought on a promotion out there. That's a really good promotion, and he knocked him out. Yeah, it was a wild thing.
Chris Weidman knocked out.
Yeah, Uriah Hall. It was like a head kick, and then he TKO'd him, or I think it was just maybe out from the head kick. I remember seeing the video, but yeah, that led him to the UFC signing, and that led Uriah Hall to eventually the Ultimate Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter, yeah. Wow, okay.
I like that matchup though, because I don't think highly of Uriah Hall.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean, he was definitely gifted. Like, he was gifted the Anderson Silva fight. Like, It doesn't get any better than that. You get to fight a 46-year-old. Like,
yeah, with a fucking broken leg who's afraid to kick, and then,
that's already cracked.
He's off his dick pills. It's like, I mean, I picked Silva in that fight. I've never been a Uriah guy. I remember everyone coming in their pants over the knockout he did on the Ultimate Fighter, but it's like, yeah, but he fought a nobody, and then he laid an egg against Kelvin in the finals, and a really fat Kelvin too, by the way.
Yeah, that was
fat, out of shape Kelvin just weared on him, and then
that was at middleweight, right?
Yeah, 185. Yeah, and then Kelvin dropped the 70, couldn't make away to 70, and then back up to 85.
Was his last fight when he got toe holded?
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, Kelvin, man, he's got so much potential too. He just can't stay out of his own way.
He's fighting Ian Heinisch now, which is such a fall from grace. You have a fight of the year, maybe fight of for like 5 years, maybe not decade, but
in middleweight for sure. Yeah.
Right, against Izzy, right, and then you give Izzy a run for his money, had every chance to win that fight, and then now you're fighting Ian Heinisch. No knock on Ian Heinisch, but it's like, man, such a fall from.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy who's ranked 15th right now compared to the champ. Like,
I know.
What are you doing?
And you're right. I think he's very talented. I think for the longest time it was all Kelvin needs to drop down. Kelvin needs to drop down. Kelvin needs to drop down. But now I'm like, well, fuck it. Kelvin needs to stay at 85. This guy is fucking a short, fat dude, but he's better when he's worried about his skills as opposed to his fucking weight cut.
Exactly. And he competed with Till. He competed with Izzy. He's competed with the best. Granted, Hermanson, I don't want to call it a fluke because I'm sure it was strategic on Hermanson.
I mean, I had Kelvin in that fight. I rode Kelvin. I was riding Kelvin till the fucking wheels came off, essentially. And Hermanson's a guy I don't give enough cred for. Right, he's very, very slick on the ground. But yeah, I never in a million years thought he's gonna fucking heel hook goddamn Kelvin.
First 30 seconds.
Same issues as last time with the camera. Devin's having issues with the camera. Oh, man, his Max from 1999. So he's having
Oregon Inlet. They sell it in Oregon like it's from fucking 2020 though.
I wonder how close Devin is because the last remaining Blockbuster is in Oregon and it's a B&B. Like you can
Bed and breakfast.
yeah, you can like stay there or whatever. Or what is the other thing? A B&B, but what else? What is it? What is it called? When you go to town, you stay at someone's house. What is that? What is that called?
Right. Sleepover.
No. Like you can rent your house out for people like
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Gotcha.
It's an Airbnb. That's what it is. Not a bragging about it. It's an Airbnb. So you can sleep in the last remaining Blockbuster. They have like beds and stuff, and it's like a legit Blockbuster. So I wonder how close he is to that because that's the only reason I would go out his way.
No doubt, man. God, that brings back memories.
Lives out there, man. It is. He's gonna hear this back. Like he's gonna because this is gonna be. I'm gonna release it as a podcast too. He's gonna hear this back, and he's gonna be like, "What the like? Who lives out there, dude? Like." I don't get it, man. I
follow that last Blockbuster on Twitter. They're pretty funny, actually. They
I love Blockbuster, dude. I've been watching this. Wife and I've been watching this TV show that's set in the 80s. It's filmed now, but set in the 80s, and there was just a video store episode where they went and this little boy wanted to rent fucking Indiana Jones. It was out, and I was like, man, I remember that going to Blockbuster and running up and be like, oh, they got the new whatever. And there would be no case behind it. And you're like,
oh yeah, they had a display case.
Yeah, they had a display case, but there's no video behind
it. You got to go up to them and ask, has anybody returned this? In the
past, right? Yeah, I would go and check the return bin. Like my mom, like I never watched cartoons as a kid. I jumped right into like Predator and like fucking real movies. So I never watched cartoons. So when I was 12, I used to ride my bike up to Blockbuster all the time to rent Sega games, to rent fucking like wrestling stuff. I was really into wrestling at that time. And then movies as well. And the Blockbuster lady was like, listen, you got to be 18 to do this. So my mom called up and got me my own Blockbuster card.
Oh yeah.
My name on it. And in the computer, it said he can rent whatever the fuck he wants. Oh. So I would go up there and then like they'd see me, the little fuck, I was, when I was 12, I looked fucking 8. So I go up there and I hand him the card, and this guy be like, I don't know, bud, this is rated R. And then she had red hair. She was like, oh, no, he's good. He's good. And I look at him like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm good.
Bitch.
Eat it.
That's when you got to go back in the back section.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Go in the back.
Yeah.
How do we fix that? Dev, I don't know how to fix your computer, dude.
I will say ironically about the Blockbuster thing, no kidding. Yeah. So I like when I was maybe I'd say 7 or 8, and I would go and rent like the wrestling videos and the things they had. And my babysitter's house at the time, her son was like a couple years older than me, and that he saw Ken Shamrock in WWF, and then he was like, oh, this guy came from this stuff. And then that's actually the first time I watched UFC was on it was like a UFC 2 or UFC 3, and it was the VHS of that event from Blockbuster.
Yeah, when I first watched the UFC, hold on, here's Dev. Dev, you working? You live action?
Hear me?
Hey, buddy.
Hold on. Talk again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds a little, unplug it and plug it back in. It sounds a little rough there.
Lack of bandwidth.
I watched the UFC. That's how I started too. I watched the early ones. UFC 6 was the first UFC I rented with Tank Abbott, and I didn't really love it. It was like brutal to me. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then when it became more of a sport, that's when I was like, oh, wrestling? Oh, wrestling's fake? Oh yeah, fuck that. So
yeah,
my shit now. This is my
fighter time.
Yo,
Dev, talk again one time. Sorry, bud.
Is it clear now or no?
Yeah, you're good. You're sounding good now, pal.
Yeah, I restarted my computer 3 times. I thought we did something else, but like this is the 4th time I tried to get my camera to work, and finally it's fucking working.
Well, we're live, baby. We're live. And then my guy Christian, he sends us out right here. Timbo, you'll appreciate this. Mercer's Fire got a hoodie on the way. Congrats to Tim defending the strap more times than Connor. Hey, strap daddy.
All it takes is 1 for that.
There he is, Strap Daddy.
We're approaching John Jones territory now.
True. We're getting up there. 2021, baby. I got to get that strap. I got mine hanging on the shelf. I don't touch it because it's bad luck. You touch it, you become champion. That's like a hockey thing. Deb, what's up, man? You all right? Your dog all right? You all right? What's going on, dude?
Do you remember that time? It had to have been probably a year ago. when we were recording one of the pick'ems, and my 2 dogs were just going fucking crazy. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, I do.
So I'm in the bathroom, I'm about to come out of the shower, and I just hear them making a fuss. They bark and stuff when they want to go outside and take a dump. And I was just like, I just let them outside to take a dump, because otherwise I'll come outside and there'll be a steaming pile of shit in the middle of my house. Or when they get riled up, dude, you heard them. They just fucking fight and just go ham. And I was trying to avoid that. And then now it took a while to get my camera working, but we're here.
We're here, baby. We're here. Okay, let's dive in. Tim and I have treaded water for the past 20 minutes. So we got 9 awards to give out. I got some sound cues for some of them. First, get your notes. Check your notes. Check what you're not. I got 2020. MMA Takes first award for 2020 is the Fighter You Want to Fight award. And let's. I got a little jingle jangle. Hang on, I'm ill prepared here. I should have been more prepared. All right, so 2020 Fighter I Want to Fight award. Oh, here you go.
I want to fight you.
So I Want to Fight You award.
All that for that.
What is that from?
Do you hear that? Let me play it one more time.
I heard it.
I fucked up. Yeah, let me do it one more time now.
Hey guys.
Who the fuck are you, man?
I want to fight you.
That's Will Ferrell from Get Hard.
Yeah,
he went up to some guy in the park and threatened to fight him. So this award it can be anything. It could be a fighter you don't like. It could be a fighter that you think you can take. Whatever it is. Couch potatoes, MMA fans love to think that they're tougher than fighters in the thing. We all yell out. We all do it, right? We all say this guy stinks. We have no credibility to do it. But if you had to fight one, who would you fight? So my nominee, I'm going to nominate someone first. This is a guy, and it sucks because some guy just said he wants to fight me, Matt Helbig. Okay, Matt, we'll get that going. I mean, if you're a UFC fighter, let's do it, pal.
Is there comments? Is he commenting right now?
Yeah, Matt Helbig. I want to fight you.
Which one is you? Which one of us is you?
I don't know. Yeah, which one, Matt? Who do you want to fight? You want to fight the handsome guy? You want to fight the bearded guy, or do you want to fight the cool hat guy? I mean, let us know. But anyway, my first nominee for this, and I feel bad saying it because no, I was quoting Will Ferrell. Oh, there he goes. Okay, Matt's a fan. He's quoting. There he is. He doesn't want to fight any of us. He's a nice guy. All right, my first fighter, the guy I want to fight, Chase Hooper. I think I can beat Chase Hooper. I think I can. I mean, he's 20-something. I mean, if he gets me in the ground, he could probably strangle me, but he's very skinny, very small. I think I could fucking beat Chase Hooper. And I know I sound like such a fucking idiot, and you shouldn't take me seriously, but I think I can beat Chase Hooper. So he's got to be my number one nominee. He has to be
close.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're just talking, if you put you and him in a cage right now, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm betting you was the underdog, Brian.
I outweigh him by 100. What is he? 155.
145.
I outweigh him by like 120 pounds, and I'm way stronger than he is. His stand-up's crap, right? His submissions are really good. So if he can get a leg like he did Peter Barrett, but I think I can fucking get him, dude. All right, you want to throw some names out? I got a bunch of names. That's just
Let's hear 'em. Throw a couple more out there.
My boy Matt says I could take Cooper. Number 2 is Dom Cruz, just for the fact that his commentary this year was so annoying. Dom Cruz is an incredibly talented fighter. I don't want to disrespect Mr. Cruz, but
he's a snarky little cunt.
He is, man.
After losing to Cejudo,
he carries it into it too.
After losing to Cejudo and blaming it on the ref with the alcohol and cigarettes and shit, I'm like, dude, just take your fucking L, man. And then he took the shit into the commentary where he's just like, I don't know. I used to love Dom Cruz. He was one of my favorite fighters in WC, but he's just becoming a little fucking snake. Fights once a year, loses, and then like they offered him the Rob Font fight, and he turned it down. He's like, I want to fight bigger fish. Well, you're an old fish. Like, fight someone new.
Now he's
fighting Casey Kenny, right? I think the UFC probably put the on him. Was like, yo, you got to fight somebody.
Okay, yeah.
We got to name you guys. Because I got more. I mean,
you already know who I got. Fucking Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley. Whoa.
And
this happened.
I mean, he could.
You want to fight Sugar?
He could no doubt take me, but I would give everything up. Fucking, he'd have to kill me.
Yeah, that's true. He'd have to fucking.
I just
kill
don't.
me.
Might just give up though.
I don't like the.
He might quit. He might break his hand on your face and be like, "Fuck this, I'm done with this."
Yeah, just don't like the way he's pretty much done anything throughout his career. I don't like the gimmick that he's doing. I don't like any of his Instagram videos when he's in his towel doing dumb shit. I definitely don't like the way.
Father. That matters. He's a new father.
Yeah,
This girl looks like a
really mean.
Fuck him.
But
Fuck him.
yeah, just not a fan. And obviously losing to Cheeto and just not being humble about that and giving every excuse in the book. Not a fan. He'd kick my ass, but I'd bring a weapon, or I'd bring Dev and we'd fuck him up because Dev don't like him either.
Dev, is that gonna be your Dev?
So you know who I would rather fight over Sean O'Malley?
Who's that?
Is his fucking head coach.
So you're
If I could just punch him square in his fucking shit,
putting,
I totally would.
Tim something.
Tim
What is
Welch.
Welch.
Tim Welch.
Okay.
I mean, I've never seen anybody that rides the coattails harder than that guy. He was a B grade MMA fighter.
You've had a problem with him for a while. I remember this vividly.
And I listened to him talk on their podcast, and he's just the cockiest dude on the fucking planet. I just don't like where he comes from. And that's just off the top. The fighter that I think I'd like to fight, Chase Hooper was one of them. He was one of the guys that was top of my list.
So he'll definitely be a nominee since we both had him.
Yeah, he's like my number one, along with someone like Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold would kill me, but I think if I touch his chin, I put him out. You know,
Yeah, good shot.
Luke Rockhold's on that list. As Dana White said it best. Dana White's like, every girl wants to get with this guy, then he opens his mouth and they're like, "Who the fuck this guy?" That sucks. You got to be that good looking and that annoying, and you're like, never get pussy. Like he dated Demi Lovato for like 5 minutes, and she's like,
Luke Rockhold did.
Yeah,
and then she went and overdosed on heroin.
They were up. Yeah, they were at a UFC fight one time. They dated for a little bit. So I'm gonna.
It was so bad she OD'd after.
Yeah, right. She's like, I gotta get back on this drug. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
So Tim, you got Sean O'Malley. Dev, you got Tim Welch, Luke Rockhold. I had Dom Cruz, Chase Hooper. My other two were Kazmat Chimaev because, listen, I want to expose that motherfucker. That's what it is.
You're gonna be the guy to do it.
I want to expose him. And then Greg Hardy because, I mean,
we got Tybura, bro.
All I gotta do is hide his inhaler.
February took care of that.
See, all I gotta do is hide his inhaler, and he's fucked. You know what I mean? All right, so we're gonna have Chase Hooper's a nominee. As much as it hurts me, I'm gonna put Sean O'Malley as a nominee. We got 4. So out of the 2 we all said, who else would we get? Would Dev, out of yours, Tim Welch or Luke Rockhold? Who do you want to nominate?
I'm going Luke Rockhold.
Luke Rockhold, okay. And then we'll do Dom Cruz as well, because I feel like we all kind of agree that Dom's like a little.
He's a prick. Yeah, I love Dom Cruz to death. Huge fan, but he's a prick.
Just
he's a little prick. All right, so
snarky little cunt.
Little cunt. Look at this. Matt keeps Tim Welch, also the Ultimate Fighter back in the day. He not only did he lose, he got fucking knocked out. So if you have a problem with Tim Welch, go look up that. Okay, next up. We have the 2020 MMA Takes Award, Ariel Helwani Award, the first annual Ariel Helwani Award. You disgust me, and I got a little thing for this as well. Tim, ears up. You'll appreciate this one.
Do you not like me, Nick?
I feel like you instigate fights quite a bit, but that's
Fights between the fighters?
yeah. I mean, maybe that's your job, but that come from people like that get slapped.
Love it. That's one of the all-time quotes ever. Ariel Helwani, I think, is a fucking absolute scumbag. I think the guy has changed into a different person. He's trying to be the Skip Bayless of ESPN MMA Takes, trying to get clicks. And like him and DC, they got a great show. I like DC. I think he's entertaining. But the Chael Sonnen show stinks now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people can stand him. Other media members can't stand him. It's always bugged me that being in the MMA space, this is the face of MMA media, and he is. He's number one. He's the king of MMA media. And I think he's a little rat, right? So the Disgust Me Award is going to be fighters that just their performance, what they did, their personality. It can be anything that just really bothered you this year. So then I can start it off. My number one is a guy I really went out and on a limb for and bet a lot of money on was Max Rokoff. I did a video on Max Rokoff. His performance was very bad. He quit. embarrass me. I mean, I lose fights every weekend. I pick fights wrong all the time. But if I had a video camera that followed me around that week of how confident I was in this guy, just stopping. Everyone at work knows I'm the MMA guy, so I don't really talk about it. I was stopping motherfuckers going, hey, hot tip this weekend. Guy named you gonna fucking dominate. So I had to go show my face like, this is the MMA guy, the fucking dude you bet money on quit. It's an ugly scene for me. So I had Max Rokov as my number one. He discussed me with his and I hate to say it because listen, he quit, he's a fighter and all this stuff, but god damn, dude, like that really fucked me up for a while because I was very confident in that fight. You boys got anything?
Oh yeah. Dev, you want to take it?
I was confused by this because we didn't really go over it too much. I thought you were picking something bad that Ariel Helwani said this year.
Hey, listen, I'll take that too.
But
there's no right or wrong way, baby. Just tell me what you have.
I could tell you that he lost a avid listener in me this year. I completely stopped listening to him. I think I think the way he approaches MMA media in a whole, the way he interviews fighters and everything, it's really not the same as it used to be. I felt like he used to be passionate about the sport, but now he has his foot in with ESPN. I feel like he wants to be an NBA guy.
He's doing the NBA on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
He would, if you told him right now, hang up your MMA gloves and go grab a basketball, he's dropping those gloves and running. And I just I don't feel like there's so many people that are passionate and really care about the sport that truly give a fuck, that will give non-biased interviews, ask the questions that need to be asked, and not poke the bear. And, just like that clip you played with Nick Diaz saying, you instigate fights. The dude is known to instigate. He's known to stir the pot. He's known to run that mouth. And it's just, with me in 2020, it was enough with him. Like you said, I love DC. I think he has a great counterpart in DC because DC he's got a great mind. He's got a great personality. But Ariel's he's burnt all his bridges. He can't get an interview if he needs one.
Only can interview that management team that represents Connor and Leon Edwards and the Kawa brothers.
Yeah.
And whenever he has a debate on his show, his integrity is questioned because he always pushes for those fighters. Like he was sitting there arguing that Leon Edwards deserves a title shot. What? He was doing this recently. Like, yeah, Leon Edwards is highly ranked, but when's the last time the guy fucking fought? And you're saying you're calling for a title shot over fucking Gilbert Burns?
Yep.
Like, are you fucking crazy?
RDA last year, I want to say, was his last fight.
Right. Yeah. And listen, I think Leon Edwards is better than people give him credit for. We'll find out how really good he is with Chimaev, but I agree with that. I'm going to write down Ariel Helwani's integrity is what you're listening. Ariel Helwani's integrity disgusts you.
I just can't pick. Obviously, like the shit with Sean O'Malley, the way he handled his loss, that was bad. We already spoke on that. We spoke on that a bunch of times. That could be brought up. There's been a lot of people that haven't handled their careers well this year, but as far as MMA media outlets, Ariel Helwani's really dropped the ball. There's tons of guys like us that are really passionate about the sport. There's tons of other outlets you can get your information on.
Right. My the guy Matt commented, do you like him more than Luke Thomas?
No, I like Luke Thomas.
You like Luke Thomas more?
I've been listening to Luke Thomas.
And so I don't
I've been blocked on Twitter and Instagram. I can't.
Yeah, I can't stand him. I think I see him on Instagram, but I'm never on Instagram. Yeah, I think Luke Thomas is the same boat as Ariel Helwani. He's a little bit of same. Apparently they hate each other. Apparently Ariel Helwani fucked over Luke Thomas really bad. Either way, I think they both suck, right? Like Luke Thomas just sits there, and he uses like these gigantic words like I follow MMA and I'm really smart, blah, 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 blah. Hypotenuse. And it's like, shut the fuck up, dork. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think about that guy. All right, so I'm gonna put Sean O'Malley and Ariel Helwani's integrity. Timbo, you got any?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a soapbox real quick. Ariel, I've always liked Ariel Helwani, and even me, and I still like him. And the fact that he does branch off into these other ventures, such as the NBA, he's a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Always talk. I like that, and I think it grows the sport. It's intertwining the sport. And also when you have guys like Greg Hardy coming over to the UFC, you got Brock Lesnar coming on UFC. I can appreciate. He always does like him and DC always do that old school wrestling takes, and I can appreciate. I like it, but I see a lot of him getting a lot of flack on social media saying, "Hey, man, this is UFC. Stop talking about other shit."
Right.
I'm not a fan of that. However, I will say with him, too much content is not good content. Like I used to be an avid. I remember Mondays at 1:00, bro. I'm at work, my lunch break. I'm ready to watch MMA now.
Yeah,
I loved it, and
That's the shit.
it was. And as soon as he got hired by ESPN, that's when first you notice the drop off of his quality of content, and then you just notice, okay, dude, like you've got way too much shit going on. Like him and DC, I can appreciate DC's mind, as Dev was saying, but bro, you have like 3 shows a week now. Like you can, and for you to continue to push out content, you've got to start stretching shit, and you've got to start making things out of nothing and making things way too big. So that's what I do think about Ariel, and so I'm with you, Dev, in some aspects of that, but as far as what disgusts me, and Brian, you can relate because you obviously gamble. Dominic fucking Reyes.
Yeah,
if you guys remember, about 6 months ago, I had a perfect DraftKings lineup, and if Dominic Reyes would have knocked out fucking Jan Blachowicz,
Jan,
I would have won about 25.
Yep.
And that didn't happen, and not even just the money part of that, but just the way he carried himself after that fucking John Jones fight.
Yeah,
saying that he's the champ, that he won.
Yeah, he claimed he was champion. He claimed that John Jones left the division because of him.
Right. And then for you to go out and get absolutely starched
by
Jan Blachowicz, who's now going to go get starched by a middleweight.
Right.
That was really disappointing. And, he definitely got an ego check, and he needed it. I think John checked his ego, but clearly it wasn't good enough. But he got humbled by that. So hopefully he tones it down some. But, yeah, he lost your boy a lot of money. So,
yeah.
That's
a bad one. I mean, yeah. Anything else, Timbo? You got anybody else? I got a few stragglers here we can talk about.
That was my main one.
Yeah. Main one. So I got Kelvin Gastelum. We talked about him pre-show. So talented, and he just literally has laid an egg this whole year. I've lost money on him. I didn't go big on him, but the Hermanson fight, I went on him. The fucking Darren Till fight, I know Devin was high on him before the Darren Till fight. A guy super talented and just fell off the fucking cliff. And then you got Brock Weaver, who Devin and I know that we try to get on the podcast a bunch of times. He dicked us over. Literally 5 minutes before we're supposed to record, he just completely ghosted me. And then he's like a dog fighter and just not a good dude, and he's fucking sucks as a fighter as well. That's the second one. And then the last one I have is Chris Lee, the judge, the guy who he's worst scorecards this year. And for some reason, they're still booking him to do fights. It's unbelievable. I don't know how this guy has a fucking job.
Yep. I got one fucking referee, Chris Tione. He had 2 bad calls in one night. The Jessica Rose Clark fight. That girl getting got beaten to death. Yeah, nearly beaten to death by Jessica Rose Clark. I can't.
He had that one rough night.
He had like 2 bad calls in a row. That was bad. But refereeing as a whole too, there's been some bad calls in 2020. Bad judging, bad refs. If you ask Dom Cruz, Keith Peterson,
no nonsense, Keith Peterson, baby.
I love him. I think he's great.
He's a good ref. Yeah, I mean,
he's one of the best.
I actually like him more that if he's going in there smelling like booze and cigarettes. I mean, first off, cigarettes isn't a fucking drug, Dom. You fucking
pussy, dude.
Get over it. And he probably was at the strip club the night before banging bras. Those little dudes usually swing a pipe, so he probably's got something. All right, so I'm gonna have Mac Rokoff as a nominee. I'm gonna have Deb. I'm gonna have the Chris Tione / refs as your nominee. Dom Reyes as a nominee. So that's 3. What do you want to end the 4th one on? Should I do judges too, like Chris Lee and judges? Like you did Chris Tione and refs. Should I do Chris Lee and judges? Should we go Brock Weaver? Do you guys have any feelings about that fucking guy?
Brock Weaver could take a number 1 spot if you ask me.
Yeah, the guy's that. I'm gonna put Brock Weaver down. Okay? He's a fucking absolute scumbag. All right,
well, we're doing this as a poll, right, for the audience.
Right. So 4 selections for each thing, and I'm gonna put it on Twitter, and people are gonna vote. So yeah, I don't think on Twitter, I don't think you can have more than 4. I think that's why we're only doing 4 nominees.
Okay.
Yeah,
do we want to put Brock Weaver? I mean, unless
it's up to you, buddy. I'm okay with doing it. I'm okay with not doing it. I just had to get my Max Rokoff in there because that guy. I mean, literally, I'm just so embarrassed. I still am.
No doubt.
So we can get rid of Brock. So Dev, you got Tione, you got Reyes. Out of pride, I can't put O'Malley on again because Deb brought up O'Malley. I can't believe we can't have him on every category. He's my guy.
We just shit talked to Ariel Helwani for 5 minutes straight. We
Yeah,
want to
him too.
Ariel Helwani's integrity. We'll put that on there. Just that guy being a fucking snake. That's what I put on there. All right, here we go. The 2020, the MMA takes this. I don't think I have a clip for this. The 2020 MMA takes you should be traded award. So this is I took it as fighters from the UFC. You know, UFC is cutting 60 fighters. I think there should be more trades in MMA, like the Ben Askren Mighty Mouse deal. Thought that was awesome. I think it adds to it. Every sport has trades. I know MMA is a different kind of sport because of the organizations. Like boxing is very similar to MMA, but I would like to see more trades. So this is 2020. You should be traded award. And my first nominee, my number one nominee, is a guy who I think makes a shit ton of money, who I think is very popular. I think maybe a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think Derek Lewis should be traded for someone in Bellator, another heavyweight, because I think Derek Lewis is never going to be champion. He's going to main event some fights, and he's going to throw some fucking duds out there. He might get a couple more knockouts, but he's also in his late 30s, and he's making a buttload of money. Derek Lewis is my number one nominee.
Who are you trading him for?
See, I didn't get that part. That's the thing.
You gotta have that part.
I know. I gotta have that part. I was thinking I don't
bring a Bader home.
Tall Steve, Steve Mowry from Bellator. Heavyweight guy. He's like 6'10" over there. He's undefeated. He's like 6-0 though. He's a young guy. He trains down in Florida. His Instagram and Twitter handle is like Tall Steve Can Fight or something like that. But it's Steve Mowry is who I would trade Derek Lewis for. You would get a really good heavyweight. He's fucking giant. He's good on the ground. His stand up is getting better. And then you get rid of a guy, Derek Lewis, who's making like $300K a fight.
Or more.
Boys.
That's fair. Want me to take a Dev?
Yeah, sure.
This guy, he could, I mean, damn it, he could, because I don't want to bring him up right now, but I really do, because I feel like he would do very well in Bellator or really anywhere else, but he's just in the what I think is probably the best division, and Marlon Moraes.
Wow. Okay.
He's getting a lot of money. He's getting $300,000 a fight.
Yeah.
You know, he's a main eventer. He's fought for the title, I'm pretty sure, on numerous occasions. And just kind of like what you said with Derek Lewis, you know, I think he's not winning the title. Those like, and if you're not going to win the title, then why are you there? Because with him, he's not old enough to like hang him up. Because you know what else is he going to do? He can work at Disneyland and make him out. That's very true. Yeah, but as far as you know,
they bring him money.
Yeah, I don't see him being a commentator by any means. No one wants to hear that.
I want to go listen to that guy.
So the analyst is out the door, and he's still very talented. You know, he's still very explosive, but just UFC isn't it for you anymore, brother. And you're getting a lot of money for each fight, so we'll take you over to Bellator, and we'll get somebody else in exchange.
Okay, I like that. Dev, who you got, babe?
This is probably going to be unpopular opinion, but I actually have a trade and a tradee, so who we would be getting in return, maybe even two people in return. And I think the UFC should trade Jose Aldo.
Okay, guess what? I have that on my list as well.
He's not going to fight for a title. He's a big name. They pay him tons and tons of fucking money. Why don't we trade him to Rizin, fucking Horiguchi, and Kai Asakura? Give you both of them for Jose Aldo. That's what he's worth. And really spice up the fucking problem. One of the best divisions in the UFC. Imagine if we got Horiguchi, and imagine if we got Asakura.
We had him.
UFC.
We had him. Let him go.
I know. We need him back, but we ain't getting him back. He's the champ now. I'm Rizin. He just,
he just won.
Imagine a trilogy fight, as a UFC main event. That'd bring tons of fucking money. Bring eyes to the sport from over there. I think that'd be a solid trade. Gosh, I had another one on the tip of my tongue. Mike Perry, another guy that could definitely get traded.
No one wants him. Oh,
yeah, no one really wants. I mean, Bellator is itching for names.
Bellator would take him, but
dude, PFL is itching for names too.
Yeah, and he is.
PFL is itching for names. Oh. If he could get his fucking shit together and get to 155 and go fight at fucking Bellator, or even go fight in PFL, that might be a good outlet for him. He really needs to get his shit together. He's a guy that's worth trading. And last but not least, I think the UFC should trade the women's featherweight and bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes. I think that they should dissolve both divisions. Get rid of Amanda Nunes. Send her to Bellator. Bellator will pay her. Amanda doesn't have a lot left in her career. She's talking about retiring. Get rid of her. Dissolve women's bantamweight because it's not worth a fuck watching. Dissolve women's fucking featherweight because it's already dissolved. It's non-existent. And let's fucking like you're cutting 60 people, but like why not spice up all these divisions or start a women's atomweight division?
Well, they're talking about that. Dana just brought that up on the schmo. He wants to do it. They're putting feelers out there to see how many you got to have a
tons.
Yeah, right. I can't get on board. I know you don't like Amanda Nunes. You have. I feel like you hit on her one time, and she's like, no, because you have it out for her. Listen, she's the greatest female fighter of all time. You can't trade her. I don't think she pulls numbers. Right. I don't love her in events. I agree with you that there's not a lot. There's no talent at 145. They should get rid of 145.
It's non-existent.
135, I think there's some talented girls, but again, I think Amanda's better than all of them.
But not really. GDR is at the end of her ropes. She's going to be gone. GDR is not fighting in 2 years. She's gone. Yeah. Neither is Amanda Nunes. She's not fighting in 2 years. She's fucked gone. Like
Nunes isn't fighting in 2 years because she doesn't want to.
Exactly.
GDR could as well.
Look at next. Holly Holmes, she's not fighting forever. She's getting at the end of her life.
Fight forever.
Seriously.
She definitely doesn't have a future in dancing. That bitch cannot dance. And all I see her do is dancing.
So I look at the like future picture of every other division, and like every other division has a future. And I just look at women's 135, and I look at women's. There's no future for featherweight. And I look at women's 135, and I'm like, Amanda could go to Bellator, rematch Cyborg, make a fuck ton of money, and be their champ at 145. Not have to cut weight, live an easy fucking life, dissolve women's fucking bantamweight because there's no one there besides fucking Aspen Ladd and Juliana Pena and GDR. Cool, I don't give a shit about them. Let's get a women's atomweight division and let's spice up all the other divisions. Like
to be fair,
the best.
Go ahead, Timbo. Go ahead.
I would say strawweight is definitely the best division that they have
for sure.
Okay, yeah,
100%. That's the crown jewel.
Yeah, so the atomweight I guess would be cool, but are them girls going to drop down? Is Joanna and Rose and them going to drop
down?
Tisha
Torres career before UFC at 105. Yeah.
Okay. All the tons of Asian talent.
My girl Kay Hansen, if she's watching, she's a 105 too.
Yeah. There's tons though. There's tons. Is her name? Is it Mizuki? Is it Mizuki Inoue?
Sure. Yeah.
There's tons. There's just
nailed
tons.
it. You fucking nailed it.
Fucking nailed it, Dev. Okay, you practiced all week and you went, oh, is it her? Yeah, you nailed
it. Also, look, Bunmi too.
Yeah. What about haircut? Remember that girl we just called haircut? She probably can make.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
She's 25, but she might make 105. I just think I don't know, man. I just don't think there's a future at bantamweight or at 145 in the UFC. Just the girls that are there, I don't really see a bright future for them. So
I'm gonna
give them the X.
Agree with you on not Nunes, excuse me, Aldo. That's a nominee. Timbo, you got Marlon Moraes. I think that's really great. I got Derek Lewis. So I can't put Nunes down. I just can't.
No, we cannot do that. Yeah,
we got some other. I got a couple more written down here. I got Yaya Rodriguez. He's talented, but he doesn't fight. Turns down fights. He's a huge fucking star. We can probably get someone great for him.
Trade agent.
Another one that people aren't gonna like because they're gonna think I turned my back on him, even though he was never my guy. Is Tony Ferguson. I mean, Tony's done everything he can do in UFC, and he's making a shit ton of money. Let him go to Bellator. There's some solid dudes at 145. I would absolutely love, and I'd come in my pants if Bellator's like, we'll take Tony Ferguson. You can have AJ McKee. AJ McKee needs to be UFC. He needs to be UFC. That dude is very fucking good. He invented a submission and tapped out Darren Caldwell, who's high level. So those are the two I had. Yeah, you're Rodriguez, who is a 145er, and so is AJ McKee. They can swap out.
Yep.
But what do you guys think? I just can't put Nunes. So any you have anything else to know?
I think Tony Ferguson is fair.
Tony Ferguson. Okay.
Even Zabit doesn't fight either.
I almost added him, but I do think Zabit is very talented. I feel like the blueprint out there is to beat him. Take him down. He has no ground game, right? Good stand up, cardio pretty good, but you take him down, you can wear him out. Frank Yeager did the same thing. With Zabit, though, Zabit, there's so many. He needs to fight. You're right, but there's so many questions. Like, I want to see this guy fight.
Been at least 2 years.
Right, he hasn't fought in forever,
Like,
and he has no cardio. So I want to see him 5 rounds against fucking Brian Ortega or whatever. You know what I mean?
Josh
Something
Emmett.
like that. That would be fucking sick.
His
All right.
last was against Cater, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
was it that
He fought
long?
3. He fought 3 rounds. It was a main event that got moved to the
Right,
main
he got-
event. He fought 3
That's
rounds.
right.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
he's
one
never been
decision.
5.
Yeah.
That was his last fight.
And
man.
Cater really started putting them on at the last
right.
3 minutes of the third. If there was 2 more rounds of that fight, who knows how it went. That was a big.
That was his last fight.
That was in 2008, 2019.
2019, November 2019. So
Yeah.
fuck me. Jeez. All right. So next award, I got a little sound clip for this one. It is the MMA Takes 2020. Let me get situated here. 2020 Torpedo Award, which is the hardest fall from grace.
Phew.
I'm not mad.
Nope. Sorry, wrong clip. Where are we at here? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Hardest fall from grace, baby. So this is obviously self-explanatory. This is a Devin category. I had you did. This was the one he pitched out. I had trouble with this category. I mean, obviously there's some names out there I can put. I kind of reached on one. I'm gonna nominate one that I think is gonna be on everyone's list. I'm gonna go the obvious play here. I'm gonna go the mainstream play. I mean, Tyron Woodley, guys. I mean, what? I mean,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Tyron Woodley was a former champion. Even though he wasn't the most exciting champion, he still was a champion. He defended the belt several times. Even before that, he was winning fights against really good guys, and then he just stopped fighting. Like, he just doesn't fight. Like, he puts his back on the cage. Like, he fought Colby, who he fucking hated, and he did nothing besides that first round. He looked a little more active, but other than that, he just sat in the back of the cage. I don't know what it is. It's like a mental thing, but that's a guy former champion, who I think might not be in the UFC for very much longer.
Dude, he should be on the trade list too, for 100%.
He could be on the trade list 100%. I just don't know because he's 37. I don't know how many people they would pick for him.
He went from starching Darren Till to just getting.
Don't bring that up. You didn't got to bring that up, man.
He lost 5 rounds in a row, got embarrassed by Usman, got embarrassed again by Gilbert, and then just got embarrassed again by Colby Covington. Like, he's dropped 15 rounds in a row.
Like bad. Like 10,
And he's been embarrassed in all of them.
Yeah. And even so, I definitely think he fights again.
Yeah.
He will.
But who? Like, at this point, Jesus Christ.
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz ain't gonna fight him.
I would like a Nick Diaz fight, actually.
Yeah. Rematch Robbie Lawler.
Tyron Woodley is still ranked 6th, which
That's
to me
insane.
is fucking. He should
Get
be.
him out, dude.
Jeff Neal, who just lost to Stephen Thompson, had a hell of a performance. Should fucking be higher than Tyron Woodley, based on performance wise. I mean, Tyron Woodley's done nothing.
Or fight him.
Listen, like, Tyron's said, like, I know I have to fight my way back up. So he's obviously willing to fight guys who are below him. I mean, I would love to see a Chimaev fight, obviously.
Yeah.
Chimaev would be a fun fight. I think a rematch with Robbie Lawler, since he kind of, to me, that was, I mean, Robbie Lawler's washed, but that knockout to me at the time was a little, I mean, who the fuck, Tyron Woodley doesn't really knock anybody out anymore. So that'd be a good one. But yeah, Tyron Woodley, I think, has to be at the top of the list. Who do you guys got?
You want me to take it, Dev?
Yeah.
This one is it sucks to say, but this is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the biggest fall from grace in the past year. Max Holloway.
Whoa. Hey, Dev,
Dude.
do not cry. Go ahead.
Max Holloway went from being the champ, fighting for a second belt, to losing for that second belt, losing his belt, and then trying to get his belt back and lose it again. He's lost 3 out of 4. And you talk about, we talk about a fall from grace, you talk about a torpedo, like, Tyron Woodley, that's a great example as well, because he was top of the mountain, multi-time defending welterweight champion. And then you got Max Holloway, multi-time defending featherweight champion. And then you lose 3 out of 4, bro. And then it's like, what now? Were you gonna fight this guy for the 3rd time that just beat you twice? You're gonna go try to go lightweight and fight.
He's still main eventing though. He's main eventing against Calvin Kattar next, and you're stoked to see it. You said you're happy to see the fight.
Dude, that's the thing. I love seeing the fight, but we're talking about a fall from grace, dude. He's
not getting embarrassed though.
He was fighting, but he was fighting to be a double champ, and now you're now you're a loser. Now you're not even like you tried to get your belt back and you didn't. So, and that's a huge fall from grace as far as being at the very top fighting for a double championship.
That is the definition of fall from grace. I'm staying quiet because I know this is Devin's guy, and I want to see the claws come out on Dev.
It's a bad choice. I mean, it is what it is. He arguably beat Volkanovski and he's main eventing against Calvin Kattar, and you were excited about that. So it's not like Tony Ferguson where he's getting completely killed. You know, he's dominated in the striking, and then the next fight he gets completely dominated in the grappling department. Something where he's supposed to be good. It's nothing like that. Tony Ferguson is looking like he's never going to win a fight again. Max Holloway is probably going to be favored to beat Calvin Kattar.
He is favored to beat him. I actually looked up before we left. Went live.
I think Tony Ferguson would be a much better play as a fall from grace.
Is that your choice?
He's one of them. Yeah, I have another one too. Another one is Marlon Moraes. Marlon went from fighting for a title, winning, and then Henry Cejudo comes back. Not to mention his highlight, his multiple highlight wins leading up to the fight with Henry, and then gets starched by Henry.
That's a good pick.
And then gets starched by fucking Sandhagen, and then gets starched by a jab from Rob Font. Rob Font's good, but he's not like
a lot more than he got rocked by a jab, but he also took some fucking shots.
Yeah, he was the rock before then.
Yeah,
argue with that, Dev. Like that was Ferguson and Moraes. In order to fall from grace, you have to be in grace. You have to be like the best, and they weren't the best. Like Tony Ferguson's never like. Beef was always the best.
This is why I love that. We all differently. This is the best. Yeah. Tim's thinking like, oh, this dude's a fucking champ. He's falling down. Devin and I agree with Tim too, though. But Devin and I are both going on hype, like the guys that had the hype. Like you couldn't go anywhere without people talking about Tony Ferguson's 12-fight win streak over fucking.
He was a champ.
Lando Venata. You know what I mean? And the interim champ. But what Tim's saying is Max was favored to beat Volkanovski both times.
Mm-hmm.
And he was favored to beat Poirier.
He was favored to beat.
You know what I mean? And so I love the debate.
I feel it. I get it.
All right, well, there you go. Because you said it was a bad take, Sid.
Yeah, he did say it was a bad
take. I gotta shoot you down.
He's gonna text afterwards and be like, that's fucking bullshit. Max is listen, Max is doing okay though. As fuck. Have you guys seen this chick that he's got with him?
Oh yeah, she's a surfer too.
Yeah, it's pro surfer or whatever. She's a good looking woman. All right, I love Marlon Moraes. Our boy Matt is still with us. He said Tony is his pick. He likes the Tony Ferguson one. So we're going to have a nomination of Max Holloway from Timbo. I'm going to nominate Marlon Moraes from Devin because I agree with that one. I mean, this is a guy who was knocking everyone out. I mean, he knocked out, right? And then he hasn't looked good at all. I'm going to go with Tyron Woodley because that's the obvious one. So we need one more. We could add Tony Ferguson. Devin, you got another one? I got two more I can throw out there, but go ahead and give me yours.
You do one and I'll do one.
I was gonna say Macy Barber.
Yes, major.
I mean, she was a minus 1,000 favorite, and yeah, she blew out her knee, and we can all that shit. But this is a girl who was, she wanted to break John Jones' youngest champion record, got embarrassed by Roxy, and then it hasn't really heard much from her since. I mean, I know she's repairing her knee, but still, when Connor's repairing his knee, that dude fucking still talk shit. So
yeah, she even the way that, I mean, that was another thing that was also pretty disgusting too. The way she handled that, she handled that well.
Yeah, she handled well.
You know, I'm torn between two. One of them being JDS, major fall from Stardom. He should be traded too, but
trade.
He should stop.
He should stop. Seriously, you're not lying.
You're a nice guy, JD. He could probably get into like the Brazilian side of broadcasting. He's a fucking smiley guy.
Everybody loves him.
Right, he seems like a nice dude.
But I'm gonna go with Anthony Smith.
I had him too. I had him too. Yeah, I had him written. That was my other one. Yeah,
spitting out fucking teeth against spitting out teeth against fucking Glover, coming out having a great first round, and then you ended up spitting out your teeth towards the end of the fight there. That was one of the worst beatings I've seen in all of MMA. That was pretty bad. And then you just go out and against Rakic and you just like don't fight. You got
taken down and out grappled by a guy who's a striker. So that's, I mean, come on.
When he's coming off a first round submission win, though, so we can't really put it.
And that's another thing too. When I put Anthony Smith down, it's because I liked him, and then he started being trash.
Yep.
Now he's coming off a pretty good win. I mean, I know it was against whoever,
but it's not.
But so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go nominate Max Holloway. I'm gonna go Tyron Woodley. I'm gonna go Marlon Rice, and the chat's involved. I'm gonna go Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson set the fall from grave. You know what I mean? That's a really good a name. This name I didn't even think of because I had him in the other category. But that's a really good nominee is Tony Ferguson. All right, let's go to the Underdog Award. Biggest underdog upset. You guys probably are familiar with this jingle.
So far and near for underdog.
So there was a lot of good underdogs this year. I pretty much hit all of them. That's what I do. Not really. So my obviously a record breaking underdog happened this year. I'm not going to throw her out. That's Shayna Dobson. I'm actually going to go out and say Roxy.
Yeah.
Roxy over Macy. Roxy hasn't really, I mean, she's been up and down in her career. She's been in the sport forever, going out there and dominating Macy Barber like that, where no one gave her a chance, including myself. She's got to be my nominee. I think that was great. Shayna Dobson looked good. She had a huge upset, but again, Shayna Dobson's like 4-5 in the UFC. I can't, with a good conscience, nominate her. And I don't know Roxy's number off the head, but she had to have been in the 800s if Macy was healthy. So my nominee is Roxy Modafferi, and she just seems like the nicest fucking person.
Yeah.
So let's throw her a bone there, boys. Okay. Devin probably wants to throw her the bone in his pants, but Dev, go ahead and tell me who your pick is.
It's coming from the guy that texted me about a boy's boner an hour ago.
I didn't say anything about a boner.
You sure?
I said I'm prepping boner boy. I called you a boner boy.
Oh, I thought you said you had a boy's boner. Neither would have surprised me.
Goddamn bat.
So I was really torn between two because both of them had stunning fucking performances. Number one, I'm gonna say Brian Ortega. Did not expect him to come out and look like that against Korean Zombie. Not at all.
That's why I have this bad boy.
Ooh.
You knew. Yeah. Tim knew he was gonna come out and put on a striking clinic against Korean Zombie. He knew it. That was, to me, I found that really, really impressive. The other one's obvious. I'm gonna let Tim go so I don't take his if it is his. But the other one was obvious, and Brian and I both nailed it too. We both suspected that his opponent's record was a little suspect, and we knew the person was going to win by knockout. That's my other pick. I'm not going to say the name though.
Go ahead, Dev. Tim, you say it because I don't know who he's talking about.
Cheeto, baby.
Oh no, but that's a great one. That's a great one.
That's a
great one.
Good one.
That's what I thought you were talking about, Dev. But
because when he said, that's what I thought he was talking about too. And then when he said, I'm like, wait a second, I didn't pick fucking Cheeto.
Justin Gaethje, bro. Justin Gaethje against Tony Ferguson.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I actually put Jan Blachowicz over Dominic Reyes because both you guys had that too. I didn't have that. I had Reyes, but both you guys picked on the podcast. At least you picked Jan 255. 255.
Yeah, my favorite underdog, and Cheeto Vera, that was my favorite moment of the year. But I didn't pick him. I didn't pick Cheeto. But my favorite underdog pick that I had this year was no doubt my man Andre Arlovski beating Tanner Boser.
Okay.
I thought that was give me
impressive win.
And the guy Dan Martin chimed in. Diego Sanchez was Michael Pereira. That's actually funny because Michael Pereira was dominating, and then Diego's like, "Wait, if he moved me in the head and I quit, do I win?" They're like, "Yeah." He's like, "I can't see." You fucking idiot! Fuck you. That was a huge upset, though. That was
got his win bonus.
He got his win bonus. Diego Sanchez.
Best
I'll
Arlovsky
do
got
it.
it. Arlovsky was plus 300. 42 years old.
Andre Arlovsky or Tanner Bozer. That's a good one, Timbo, because you're a pitbull guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Like he's definitely like a top 5 fighter of mine, just for longevity and just how awesome he used to be. And the fangs, bro. Like the fangs are fucking awesome.
That's a dope mouthpiece. That thing's dope.
Yeah.
It's classic.
But and at the same time, Tanner Bozer's coming off 2 knockout wins. You know, he was building some momentum, and everybody thought he's about to go in there and shoot the old dog in the back of the barn. And Andre Arlovsky said, "Fuck that, I'm here."
I was extremely confident in that fight. I had Bozier like 3 different ways. Had him in a parlay, had him straight up, and then I had him to knock Arlovsky out just because of how good he looked. So yeah,
that was a big win. And that's a good pride win for him. And also he just said, "Fuck that, I'm going to keep getting my $500,000 checks from these fights because
these fucking checks,
dude.
dude."
He's paying me that much. So
him and John Anac's kids go to school together, which is funny. So he lives, John Anik makes millies, right?
Yeah.
Millies. So they're living in like the same area in Florida. Andre Arlovsky's, and he's married. He's probably got a banging wife.
No fucking.
That guy's
He had a porn star in the locker room years ago. In an earlier event, he had like a porn star in the locker room with him hanging out.
This guy fucks. This guy's always been fucking. I remember the famous Tim Sylvia. Him had a rivalry. Hot chick broke up with Arlovsky. Broke up with her. She started dating Tim Sylvia.
That's right. Yeah.
Back at Arlovsky, and one of Ariel Hawani's first interviews, where it kind of made him famous, was Ariel asked him about that, and Andre's like, "Ask him how my pee tastes," and that's like the best fucking like. What is Tim Sylvia gonna do? Tim Sylvia is some fucking fat, obese like cop in Maine right now. Like that guy's just like,
no, he's getting GoFunded me, man. You remember that at the beginning of the year?
Yeah,
his arm was broken, and the UFC wouldn't pay for it. It's like, well, you haven't fought in the UFC in like 30 years. And they probably offered to fix it, and you're like, no, I got to keep fighting.
Right,
and
like
New York Wars belt in the clubs, like that guy, fucking what a joke. Any names? I threw out Jan. I got Fabricio Verdum over Gustafsson. That was a hit that I hit this year.
Oh, that was huge.
That was in the threes, like plus 325, I think is what it was. Shannon Dobson broke the record, but again, I talked about that earlier. But I still feel comfortable adding her because I mean that's just. The Vegas got it wrong, essentially. That wasn't really, it was an upset. And I didn't pick Shanna, but like to me, that's not like the record that was Matt Serra over GSP. Like Matt Serra over GSP was shocking the world. If I told a buddy of mine who watches UFC casually, and I go, "Hey, Shannon Dobson just had the biggest upset this weekend," he'd go, "Who? Who gives a fuck? What was she the first fight of the night? Like who cares?" So no disrespect to Shannon, Mrs. Dobson, but I can't add her. So I'm gonna go Roxy. I'm going to go Ortega for Dev. I'm going to go Cheeto for Timbo. And it's either between AA, Werdum, or Jan Blachowicz. Justin Gaethje as well. I want
Jan Blachowicz, though.
I think it's Jan as well.
Title.
Right? And he embarrassed Dom Reyes. Dom Reyes got put on fucking skates. And it sucks because Tim had a lot of money on that as well.
A lot of money. Let's not talk about it next.
A lot of money. Next.
I love that fight.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in the world. Okay, so I got a little sound clip for this.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
So obviously, this is going to be our personal fighters that just disappointed you. They could have won. You could have lost money on them. You could have won money on them. You could have been a fan of them, or you could have really had high hopes for them, or in your head you thought they were better than they were. You can go a lot of different ways with this. We all can interpret it differently. I'm going to kick it off. We've talked about this guy a lot tonight. I'm not mad at him. I'm just disappointed in Dom Reyes. A guy who I didn't back. I obviously didn't bet him in the John Jones fight. I picked him to beat Jan. I think I probably had him in a parlay, but I didn't bet him straight up. But this is a guy who carried himself with so much confidence. He convinced himself and some idiot people out there, Dev, that he beat John Jones. And then he goes in the Blachowicz fight, where I know the fight came together kind of on short notice, and Jan, the Polish power, he even before he got knocked out, he did nothing in that fight. Like he absolutely looked so out of sorts. Now he's fighting another guy, Yuri Prochazka, who is my guy. So I got to go with that. I'm not mad at him. I do think he's talented. We'll see how he goes with the rest of his career, but I'm just disappointed. Just disappointed with him. So that's going to be my pick right there. Boys, how about it?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Tim.
take it, brother. You got it, brother. I'm still thinking about this one.
Yeah. That it just kind of goes into like the fall of grace thing for me, like guys that had a bunch of hype.
It's a similar award. You're right.
I was just I'm not Tony Ferguson is a big disappointment for me. I'm not a big Tony Ferguson fan. And I never really thought his record was all that great, but he is a guy that really did disappoint me. Just the way that he carried himself after the Gaethje fight, and then he definitely was kind of overlooking Charles Oliveira, I feel like, and he just got embarrassed in two different realms. He got embarrassed in the striking from Justin Gaethje, and then he just get embarrassed in the grappling by Charles Oliveira. That's just a big disappointment.
I really thought you were going to say Daniel Rodriguez because he lost that split to Dolby.
That's a disappointment on the judges.
And that was what Tim sealed the win when your guys. That was when I had my baby. You guys had to pick him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Dolby swooped it up. He was the underdog play.
That was a bullshit call. We know that. Two of the three of us think that's a bullshit. That was a bullshit call.
Tony Ferguson. Timbo, you got any? I can throw some names out there, Timbo. I got two more.
Honestly, I mean, I'm trying to not recycle the same names that we used before.
Right, it's hard because I mean, listen, a lot of these fucking guys can fall in these categories. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Max Rokoff could have probably been in every single fucking one of these. Yeah, washcloth. God damn it, then.
I had Jose Aldo as mine, and that could be in the fall from grace as well as the biggest.
He just had a nice little victory though, but yeah, that would mean that's a good one.
And
I don't hate that one.
In the Peter Yan fight, that was just so like what when you think of Jose Aldo from 10 years ago, and you just think about this fucking buzzsaw that's just coming at you, and it's like insane, and then like he was on the ground, like it was just pathetic to watch. It
was hard to watch. I agree with you.
He didn't look great in just Cheeto Vera. Like that's you just think about what he used to be and then what he is now. Like he fucking smashed
grappling
years ago. Smashes Marlon Moraes. Look at Marlon Moraes. Look at how shitty he's been, and he lost to Marlon Moraes. Granted it was controversial, but the old Jose fucking finishes him first round, leg kicks, done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's disappointing to see. This is disappointing, right?
You're not mad at him.
I'm just disappointed. Yeah, I'm not mad at him, man, and he's still making his money. I never think we should say, hey, you need to stop fighting because these are just people's well-being.
Your money.
So
right. Apparently though, like I don't know, but apparently his burger joint in Brazil like kills it. Like
he has multiples.
Yeah, he's making money. He just loves fighting. I remember years ago he was going to retire for MMA and go right to boxing. He went to box. Don't know what happened to that. That's a good one. I got Deron Wynn written down here.
Oh yeah,
this is a guy who I had high hopes for. Mini BC coming in. Yeah, he's tiny, and then I just can't get him right. Right, I was all over him, and then he barely beat Eric Spicely. And then I was all over him, and he fucking lost to Jared Marskart. Then I was all over him. He lost to Darian Stewart. And then I was fucking against him. I faded him, and then he dominates Arroyo. So this is a guy who I'm not mad at. I'm just disappointed because I can't get him right. And then the last one for me was DC. I like DC a lot. I didn't want to add him on this. I'm being from Ohio. I'm not a Stipe guy. People think I am, but that's Cleveland, Cincinnati. He's not from Cincinnati. I don't give a fuck about him. I just this is a good one actually. Sorry, my train of thought here. Dan showed up. MMA media talking smack about the UFC during the events during the pandemic. The MMA media, we're not mad at you. We're just disappointed. That's a really good one.
Absolutely,
because they fucking threw every goddamn single person of the UFC, the fighters, everyone under the bus. And Trent Reinsmith from Bloody Elbow, he's still writing shit.
Fuck him.
Here are the 74 fighters that tested positive for COVID, and I went, okay, how many died?
Yeah, that guy's terrible.
Well, how many died? You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm not downplaying COVID. I think it's serious. If you got to wear a mask, you're not going to catch me on fucking World Star going, I'm not wearing a mask. Like, I don't give a shit. I'll wear a mask. I don't fucking care. But also, it's like these are professional athletes. It's a disease that no one knows enough about. Everyone handles it differently, right? And I think you constantly keep writing the same shit over and over again. And you're one of the select few who are getting paid to cover this sport. We're us three right now. We're not getting paid to do this. We're doing this of our own free will, our own free times. We fucking love this sport. We love just talking about it. This is a guy that gets paid for it, and he just wants the clicks. That's a really good pick. I'm gonna write that down too. I might add that.
Number one, dude, that guy Trent Ryan Smith. I don't know if you ever listened to any of his content, but it's
I don't even know what he looks like. I've never even heard his voice. I know you used to listen.
I've read his articles.
He's got a terrible, dude. He's got a terrible podcast where it's just like it sounds like he's in a bucket on Buddy Up. He sounds like he's in a bucket, and all he does is imagine a show with your wife or your girl complaining the whole show to you about stuff that you need to do around your home. That's what his show is essentially. It's him just fucking complaining about just every little thing, complaining about every little thing that's involved with the UFC or Dana White. He's just always got a fucking bone to pick with everybody. And the way he's with the coronavirus, I think coronavirus is serious. I don't fucking want it. I don't want to die from it. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to get sick, obviously. But at the same time, like, these people got to eat. These people got to make money. Contracts got to get, contracts need to be upheld. The ball's got to keep rolling. Maybe we got to change the shape of it, but it's still got to keep fucking rolling.
What's crazy is I know most of the people in the media do not like Dana White. Dana White is one of those lightning bolt figures where people don't like him. I get it, right? But what he did, what he said was right. The UFC showed the world you can put on sports. After the UFC came back, what happened? NBA went to a bubble. Baseball came back. Football had a good season. A couple games got moved, but no games got canceled. College basketball, which March Madness got canceled, they're back now. College football had a season, albeit a different season. Now, obviously, I don't attribute that all to Dana White. I'm not that naive. But he was the one that said, listen, we're going to show you that you can fucking do this. And this is a sport where guys and girls are literally rolling around in each other's sweat to train for a fight. Right? When you play football, you can wear a mask. Guys wear a mask when it's cold. Like, you can wear a mask on the football field. I know it's probably uncomfortable, but you can. In MMA, I mean, you kind of can, but not really. And so that's a really good, Dan Martin brought that up. That's a really good thing. MMA media. And it's not even that I'm mad. I am mad at them. So it's like, I'm mad. I'm disappointed. I think you guys are fucking scumbags. But that's a good one. Timbo, you got something?
And especially, the paid guys like the Trent Rainsmith guys, these guys are paid, and here they are, putting it in such negative light. Like, bro, this is how you eat. So,
right. Dana's like,
if there were no fights, then what would you be talking about?
We'll be talking about how, I don't get it. I don't really get how some of the Ben Folks guys who's a very witty writer, Chad Dundas, some of these other guys, that old MMA junkie guys that went to the Athletic, and the Athletic got shut down because no one's paying to listen to these fucking dinosaurs. Or at least the Athletic MMA division got shut down. But it's like, you make your money off this, and every media member sticks up for other media members. They'll never have each other. They'll always stick up for the guy. If Dana White tears into a guy, no matter what that guy said, the media member goes, Dana White's such a hack, blah, blah, blah. But it's the fact that you guys are so soft. And it's not even about politics, not even about personal preference. It's like, you're writing this because the core group of MMA fans are going to attack you. Trent Rainsmith, if he's watching this right now, he's jerking his dick. He loves that we're talking about him. Yeah. He fucking loves it because he has a job because he's writing these articles, and that's why he keeps writing them. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to a happier topic.
Oh, real quick, I do want to add two more people because I kind of bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Not mad, just disappointed. Justin Gaethje. Granted, I know you fought Khabib, dude, but I'm very disappointed in your performance. That was pathetic. You wasted everybody's time. You wasted everybody's time and money because that was a pay-per-view. Secondly, a guy who I've always been really big on, but it's very hard to be big on him still, Kevin Lee. And when he fought Charles, I know, dude, but he's so good. He has the potential, but at some point, dude, potential has to start paying off. Like, you can't be that young guy forever because eventually you're just not going to be young anymore, and then you're just going to be not good. And he's always been like, oh, he's got so much potential. He's got so much potential, but at some point you got to start having this pay off. And when Charles Oliveira fucking guillotined him, and then he tapped and then kept trying to fight, that was like, I am mad.
Dirty shit.
I'm not mad at that, but he still has the ability to be a champion.
Did him getting a helmet tattooed on the back of his head help you at all?
No, not at all. Not at all.
He has just really poor decision-making skills. That's his number one problem. He has poor decision-making skills. He needs like a mental coach.
Coach died, and
Yeah.
I think
that hurts. His Robert Follis died, and Robert Follis was a great coach that really got into your head and was close with guys. He didn't coach a ton of people. He started with Couture and Chael Sonnen and Dan Henderson, and he was a guy that really got in people's heads. And Kevin Lee, like Devin said, like this guy needs a guy that really wrangle men. Faraz is a great coach, but Faraz is also coaching like fucking 400 guys. Like the guy doesn't have enough time to baby walk this guy all the time. I agree though. Kevin Lee though I think he's a really talented guy. I really do. I think there's some like his knockout of Gregor Gillespie was Gregor Gillespie's a fucking stud. The guy, he like retired him. Like Gillespie hasn't fought since, and awesome performance. It really was. And I agree with that. All right, let's go to a little happier category. I don't have a sound clip for this. The MMA Takes 2020 Twitter Fingers Awards. Best social media players out there, right? So I said Twitter Fingers, but you can do Instagram. Deb, I know you like Instagram more than Twitter. I have 3 solid names on here. I'm going to go with my guy, Darren Till. I feel like he killed it this year with the Raw Dog stuff and just trolling people on Twitter, on Instagram, like talking about how he's gonna fucking shag people's women or whatever. Like that's what they say in England. And then he sent Colby a DM about like some guy like literally shitting, like it was just like shit coming out of his ass or something like that. Like, that shit is really funny. Like Darren Till, a guy like I've seen other people really like. I don't think Darren Till's that funny. I think he's childish. Well, get a fucking sense of humor. So Darren Till's gonna be my guy. Who do you guys got?
Well, to comment on that, I will say, dude, Darren Till's social media presence has literally flipped his my opinion on him. Because I did not like it. Like back when he was fighting like Tyron Woodley and getting fucking knocked the hell out. I did not like Darren Till at all. And then, because he didn't show that side of himself. The side that he shows on social media with like his humor and like how like lighthearted and funny he could be. He never showed that prior to him being on social media. So it was like a prick. Like
he was always like he was honest, but he's always like intense too, and he's very confident in himself. So he came off a little egotistical. But then when he came on social media, like I've heard like when I started following Darren Till, I heard he's like the funniest guy in the room. Like he's a nut. Like he is who he is. And I have some friends that I really I like because of the way they think. Like they don't give a fuck about whatever someone else says. They are who they are, and I respect that. And you're right, it really came out on social media. I think his social media glow up, and that speaks volumes because you didn't like him, and you're like, now I kind of fuck with him because he's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'll root for him in every fight now. I think he's cool as shit. But I'll go next as far as the Twitter fingers and Colby Covington.
Okay.
He's a winner.
I mean, this is literally his career by his presence on social media and his character that he's developed in.
I hate it, but you're right. I mean,
it's great. It's great. It's so awesome.
The last fight of 2019 with him and Usman, but that's when it really started to blow up. But then he carried it over into his fight with Woodley this year, and he made that fight a lot bigger than what it should have been because people by that time everybody knew Tyron Woodley was fucking done. But Colby just upped his shit talking, and obviously he definitely played into the Trump thing and obviously race issues coming to that, and that people want to fight. That made people want to see Tyron Woodley and completely didn't happen. But I'd like to see, because I think that was actually a fight night, if I'm not mistaken. That wasn't a pay-per-view.
It was.
Sure great numbers on it. So Colby, he definitely
he moves the needle.
Moves the needle, absolutely.
Like there was an old saying with Howard Stern. More people back when Howard Stern was like the shock jock.
Yeah.
More people listened to him that hated him, just because they wanted to fucking listen to him to hate him.
Yeah.
So that's like Colby. They want to watch him get knocked out, and then it has. I mean, Usman kind of did, but not. I mean, I'm an Usman guy, but like he fucking dominated Woodley, and he's and everyone that knows Colby he's completely different. Like he's like a cool dude. So he's putting on an act. That's why I don't like it. It doesn't endear me. But you got any more, Timbo or Dev? What do you got, Dev? Let's hear Dev.
Obviously Darren Till's number one. I don't think Darren Till's the most talented fighter, but he's definitely absolutely fucking hilarious on social media. His social media presence is hilarious. He sent like a DM to Colby. Like, I think the one with the shit started off like him saying like, "Great job, I'm a big fan of yours." Blah blah blah. Like, he baited him into something, and then he's like, "Just kidding," and then just sends him.
Right. Like, hey, we should train together sometime. And Colby's like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And then it's just a fucking giant dude taking like a heavy shit.
When Mike Perry was looking for another cornerman,
that was great too. Yeah.
That shit. Imagine if they would have brought the Cam Soda girls in for that to like wipe them off with the towel and shit. That'd have been great too. Kevin Holland has a pretty good Twitter and social media game.
You know what? He does, but you know what? His manager runs it.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, they did an interview. John Anik said it.
Really?
Like, yeah, some fan was like, "Oh," or it was on the Anik and Florian podcast. I think the Ian Parker guy who does the picks was like, "Dude, Kevin Holland tweeted at me like they were trying to get him on that Bilal Muhammad show that they do." And Kevin Holland tweeted at him, and that Ian Parker guy was so excited. And John Anik's like, "Yeah, I talked to him about it. His manager runs his social media." And that's like, because he's good, because it's good, right? Like I follow him now, and he's, he throws it out there. But yeah, he apparently doesn't like social media all that much. So that kind of sucks. But his manager, whoever it is pretty good.
Yeah, that does suck. Darren Till is like the number one. He really, after his fight with Jorge, I think he realized I have to do things a little bit different, including the way I carry myself and stuff like that. And he had a big time mental change. I think that's good for him. I think that the way he handles his social media, he's now setting himself up for a future outside of MMA potentially, just with his personality and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'll be because England, like they do so much on the production side with like guys talking about fighting. He'll be
BT Sport.
BT Sport. They do some great stuff. A guy that I thought Tim would bring up is John Jones. John Jones is fucking
going off.
He's on my list.
He's on your list?
Yeah.
Going off.
He's fucking ruthless. Like he's not the funniest guy.
He's not trying to be though.
That dude will cut you down, and it's fact. Like what he did with what you sent, was that you that sent that about?
That was me. Yeah.
Like
I'm not your rival. I'm your superior.
That's the hardest thing.
He cuts deep with DC, bro. He cuts deep.
Yeah. DC, the worst thing DC ever said was they were on the stage and DC says, "I'm looking for a man to be my equal. Be my equal, John." And John had just big brothered him twice. And now DC, like besides Stipe, which was again like friendlier, DC's got to stay retired knowing that he'll never beat John.
Mm-hmm.
Throw out the steroids. I don't give a shit about that. I know they took one away from him when he knocked him out. They took that one away, but that's got to hurt. And then the guys
so mean
like that.
He's so, and the thing is, he's not trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. He might even he has like a gimmick or an image he's trying to portray. Whatever. I don't know if that's really who he is.
The religious stuff he needs to be the villain. I think we've talked about this.
Yes.
Quit being, I read the Bible, I got the Bible verse in my chest. Quit being, you can say you can thank God and all that stuff like you meant, but be the fucking villain, dude. Be the guy who was like, dude, I had a weekend of cocaine. I beat you the next weekend. Like that shit that's what I like. And I don't like John Jones that much.
It was the funniest shit. And the thing that Dev sent us back when him and DC were going at it, and I think that was the first time. I think it was the first time when he said, "Hey, pussy, you still there?" Was that the first fight?
That was the first fight.
Yeah. That was on my birthday.
Oh, was it? That's a hell of a birthday.
At the outlet mall, my phone's blowing up. Maybe this was a million years ago. I looked down and my buddy's like, dude, they just got in a fight. They fucking DC threw a shoe at Jones. And now they're going on ESPN. I'm like, what? And I was like, probably like an hour away from Cincinnati. I was getting like no service. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Dude,
we drove to Chipotle so I can get on the Wi-Fi and watch it.
He's cursing them out. He's fucking saying every curse word on the sun. They start fighting on the stage. And then as soon as they get to the thing, John goes, "I just want to apologize to the kids." And like, dude, he's like, "You fake bitch."
He's like, he knows how to turn it on, dude. Like his PR people, because he has a PR guy that young. After he wrecked that Bentley that the UFC bought him, the UFC hired him a PR person. Was like, "You're going to be doing a lot of interviews. We need you to be, we're going to train you." And that PR person was great because that's what fucking DC said. He's like, man, you fucking know how to turn it on. I'll give you credit.
Well, and this is getting off topic, but with John Jones, like Dana White had said that he could have been the Michael Jordan of the UFC, which is absolutely true, and in my opinion, he is. But what he meant by that is like he could have been the Conor before Conor. It just as far as the superstar, because John Jones isn't touching Conor McGregor as far as in ratings or just publicity or anything like that.
Two brothers are the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
He's crazy athletic. He's good looking. If he came out and was his original self from the beginning, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And not to mention he's the greatest fighter of all time. So, I mean, if you're good and you like Floyd Mayweather is, my opinion, the best boxer of all time, but his fights aren't that exciting. Like he's not a knockout guy, but the way he talked his shit,
everything else is
else perfect.
He knocked everything else out,
and he never lost. People want to see him lose, and he's like, I don't fucking lose. So that's good. Another guy I wanted to bring up. You guys are gonna disagree with me. I know fucking Devin's gonna probably throw up, but listen, Izzy Adesanya is not doing too bad, boys. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think Jones killed him, dude. Jones said, "Here's the fight."
You got some good shots in there.
I don't know if it's organic. That's the only issue I have with it is I don't feel like his stuff is organic. Like with Jones is like, I'll fight you right now, meet me in the KFC parking lot.
Right.
Izzy's talking shit knowing he's not going to show up.
Sure.
That's the problem that I have with it.
All right, so we have Darren Till, John Jones, and Colby. So we need another nominee. I had Izzy written down. I had Darren Till, John Jones, and Izzy written down. Does anybody want to float something else? Or I'm putting Izzy.
That works.
Okay.
I'm looking at what Matt Helbig said about Mike Perry drunk and bleeding in his house.
I saw that. Is anybody on his social right now?
What happened?
He's like,
I just saw a video of Mike Perry all drunk, bleeding in his house. He's having a rough night. He went on one on Twitter about, I tweeted at him, oh, fuck. Mike. Jesus Christ.
Play that back, please.
Show that again, Dev, or show that again, Tim.
He's
on his Instagram story?
Yeah, it's on his Instagram story right now.
Oh, my God, Mike. You're about to be a father, bro.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ. His legs. How did he cut his leg? Kick the door?
I have no idea.
A lot of fucking blood, dude.
Because he's.
That's a lot of fucking blood, dude.
Crazy, dude. That guy can't stay out of his own fucking way.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's not good. Like, he's not that good.
Oh. Oh my God.
Oh man.
He kicked through a fucking glass window.
What a fuck.
Did you watch the previous story before?
With the glass window?
Yeah.
I didn't see him kick through it. I just saw it broken.
Like a hole. Like he kicked through the glass window and he's laying on his back.
You know how many fucking arteries there are in your leg that you can cut? Fucking, he doesn't know.
It'd be crazy if he does.
It'd be pretty crazy. Well, Sean Taylor, R.I.P., got shot in his fucking leg.
Yeah.
He stopped a robber and fucking got shot in his leg, and the paramedics are, he's gonna be fine. He fucking bled out.
Yeah. Came out with a fucking samurai sword.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on. This is gonna. We have 2 categories left. This is gonna be the biggest feud of the year, also known as "Hey Pussy, You Still There?" I got a sound clip, of course.
Hey Pussy, are you still there?
I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here, John.
I'm here.
I know, dude.
I'm here.
I'm here.
This is the biggest feud of the year. I had trouble with this one. I really only thought there was 2. I think I was just misremembering. Hopefully you guys can carry this. I have 3 written down. I have 2 real ones, 1 joke one. I'm going to get the joke one out of the way just because we're talking about Mike Perry. It's biggest feud of the year, Mike Perry versus that fat old guy at Applebee's that he knocked out. I think that was, you know what I mean? Like he fucked
Perry versus his ex-wife.
He slept that dude at Applebee's. So that's going to be my nominee. Deb, you got one? Timbo, who wants to chime in here?
I'm going to let Tim go.
Timbo.
Okay. So, Brian, Dev, we were pre-show talking on Instagram, and you were naming a few, and I was like, no, not that one, not that one. And Brian, you had mentioned it earlier, but bro, DC Stipe is undoubtedly the biggest rivalry of the year.
Okay.
The biggest feud of the year, absolutely. This is a trilogy fight for the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
And it's It was 1-1 going into 3. Now, granted, with DC, we've seen how he can get with his feuds as far as like how intense he can get. Obviously with John, but this had a lot more in it than people give it credit for. First of all, you've got DC knocks out Stipe first round, starches him. Then you've got DC not wanting to give him a title shot immediately, and he goes and fights Derek Lewis, and it's fucked over Stipe because Stipe missed probably a year and a half of fighting, a year and a half of his prime just waiting to fight.
He was an eye.
Yeah, in my opinion, that too. But in my opinion, Stipe should have got an immediate rematch. But then you got DC losing to Stipe, and then Stipe kind of saying, "I will fuck you, bitch, because you didn't give me my rematch. I'm gonna make your ass wait, and I'm gonna hold this belt and get some promo and be the champ for a year.
Get those Modelo checks, baby."
Yeah, absolutely. So, there was a lot, and then you culminate those two, and then it's it's a 1-1. You got the two goats of the heavyweight division, UFC definitely. Yeah, I think that was just with everything that was on the line, and granted they did keep it kind of PG. They
did cordial.
Yeah.
It was definitely a competitive feud. It wasn't like a talk shit bad blood feud. It was definitely. I mean, I love trilogies. I really do. I think they're the greatest things that ever happened in combat sports,
especially when it's 1-1.
Yeah, when it's 1-1 going into the third, DC's final fight. And I mean, it's you're right. It's something that I overlooked. I think I was thinking about it wrong. I was thinking about like two dudes that just did not fucking like each other. Yeah. These two dudes, they were competitive with each other. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that was probably the biggest one. And it had so many great storylines. I mean, the first fight, DC slept him, became champ. Second fight, DC was winning early, and then Stipe came back. And then the third fight, I think it was all Stipe. Stipe just fucking dominated. Dev, do you have any? Do you ever want to tip of your tongue?
That was going to be my number one.
That was your number one? Give me your number 5.
But I've also got Colby and Tyron, but I don't really consider that. I feel like that was it didn't really hold a lot of water.
I had one too, Colby and Tyron.
Izzy and Costa, but that was fake. So
what?
I don't.
Fake? That was part of the weigh-ins, bro.
Yeah, but then they saw each other in the hotel room and didn't do anything. They're like, hi. They're like, hi, waved at each other.
Costa doesn't speak English. That fucking.
But the biggest rivalry this year, Brian.
Yeah.
It's me versus you in these fucking pick'ems.
I already beat you. There ain't no rivalry.
It's a rivalry, bro.
Fucking. And then we got champ here, dude.
He's the champ, so we don't have. He's not. The
yeah, I can't beat fucking Tim. I don't know. I study like crazy. Can't get him. Insiders can't get him. I'm gonna get him in 2021 though. 2021. I'm coming for that strip.
I want my rubies. I want my rubies around this bitch.
I think Izzy Costa was probably the biggest feud this year.
Yeah.
I fake or not fake. And then Colby Tyron, I think obviously was a big feud. Tyron didn't do a lot of talking. The fight was a little lackluster because Tyron didn't fucking do anything. I'm trying to think. I mean, Masvidal fought Usman, but it was so quick that they didn't really.
Yeah, that would have been it, and
that would have been great.
2 years ago, that would have been
right. And they didn't really get into it. But and like I said, we talked about this earlier. I think Dev, before you hopped on, COVID kind of ruined a lot of it because a lot of fights got canceled. Some guys didn't take fights; they almost were like opting out.
Ortega, Korean Zombie could, that was
good too. But then they made it up a little bit.
Yeah, they did.
He slapped his interpreter, which I thought was great. And then they made up a little bit. Great fight though. I mean, Zombie got fucking starched, but I'm gonna go Mike Perry versus Fat Guy or Applebee's. Mike Perry versus everybody at this point after we just saw that.
Mike Perry versus
DC Stipe, yeah, Mike Perry versus self. DC versus Stipe. I have to add Izzy and Costa because that was a huge fight. I mean, it was more than fucking Costa or excuse me, Izzy and Yoel. And I mean, Izzy and John Jones could be up there, even though they didn't fight. I want to kind of keep it to guys who've actually fought this year. Dana White versus the media is one we could always add because that was fucking. I'm gonna put that. I'm put Dana White versus media.
Perry versus himself is good too.
What'd you say?
Perry versus himself.
Mike Perry versus self. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put that on the poll. Mike Perry versus self.
It's got he's a big disappointment, man. He was a big disappointment this year.
he goes on Twitter and he has these really like self-reflective moments, and I really appreciate people's honesty. Like 2 weeks ago, he's like, my grappling's come such a long way, but my stand-up's not what it used to be, which is I've said about him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I gotta really clean that up. And it's like rules. And then last night he's going off on how like he doesn't want anyone approaching him. No fans approach him. I don't want to talk to any of his fans. And I'm like, I get it. Fans can be overwhelming and like, I could get a picture and shit like that. I can understand it. But it's also like they're the ones tuning in to fucking watch you fight. If you want to make money, because all he talks about is taxes and wants to make money, you got to have a good fan base to watch him make money. Now he could also get the reverse and have the fucking thing where people tune in and watch him get knocked out. That's what I do. I have a TV right here and it's just Mike Perry getting knocked out by Jeff Neal on fucking loop. But that's my screensaver is him getting knocked out. So yeah, he's his own worst enemy. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go Izzy Costa, Mike Perry versus Self, DC Stipe, and Dana White versus Media. All right, final award of the night. This is the one that we'll go ahead, Timbo.
Also, when you could throw into that, and granted, this is a flyer, but they are the only ones that fought twice. Was Benavidez and I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Figueroa.
Yeah,
it was definitely a rivalry, but Benavidez got murdered
twice.
The second time. Yeah, the first time he got murdered. The second time he literally got choked out and woke up screaming like he was having a nightmare. And his wife is like on the cage, and I'm like,
she was like crying.
Dude, you fucking watch that.
He dug him up, dude. He buried him and dug him up and just and then buried him again. Like, it was bad.
Sad, dude. I can't add that one. I just can't. Okay, here we go. This is the one. So if you're watching this, you're like, hey, where's the fight of the year? Where's the knockout of the year? We all know what the fight of the year is. I know you can add it. There's 3 fights of the year: Weili versus Joanna, Poirier versus Hooker, and then Brandon Moreno versus Figueiredo. Every website's doing that. Knockout of the year. I love the Kevin Holland knockout, but obviously Joaquin Buckley's going to get that knockout. You got female fight of the year. It's probably going to be Weili Zhang. You got male fight of the year. You got rookie of the year, all this stuff. So we're doing something a little different here, but this is going to be the final category, the 9th award. This is going to be the MMA Takes 2020. Who the fuck is that guy? AKA rookie of the year.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Jeremy Stevens will forever. Jeremy Stevens could be a double champ and fucking multiple. Yeah, he's going to have that L the rest of his life.
It's such a hard L because Jeremy's like, dude, you're on the second row behind Connor. You can't. Connor said, like, I know who Jeremy Stevens is. I just couldn't hear because of the way the audio was or whatever. And like, you just got buried. All right. So this is going to be rookie of the year, debut of the year. The list, I have a long list. So this is going to take some time to really narrow this down. I already know who Devin's nominating. This is going to be basically anybody who's debuted in 2020 and had a good showing, right? Or just impressed you, whatever. You make your own criteria up. So I'm going to nominate. He's only fought once.
Oh, man. You took mine.
No, I don't think so.
You definitely did.
Yuri?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuri Prochazka. He only fought once, but goddamn, he looked good. He knocked out fucking a dude who doesn't get knocked out, who was ranked, and he swagged on him too. I know he got hit a little bit in that first round, but he fucking swagged on him. A heavy-handed Vulcan who Yuri just looked good, and I think Yuri is gonna look even better against Dom Reyes when they fight. I think February. So that's gonna be my nomination is Yuri Prochazka. Devin, let's get you out of the way since I sold Tim's. I know who you're taking.
Who's I gonna take?
Did you know you're gonna fucking take?
No, I really
bro. Come on.
He's an obvious rookie of the year. The way that he, went from like 12,000 social media followers to over 1 million. That's huge.
Yeah, it's because the fucking plastic surgeon's trying to fix his rat lip.
Also Joaquin Buckley, dude, rookie. Like even though he came in and come off a loss, to come back and have 2 dominant wins, both by finish, that was impressive.
His second knockout was fucking brutal too over Jordan Knight.
Super brutal.
It wasn't as flashy as the Impa, but it was fucking.
It was more brutal. He put more of a beating on Wright than he did on Impa.
Yeah,
like Wright took a worse beating.
I like his honesty too. He's like, dude, I was fucking nervous. I'm the guy with the highlight reel knockout. I don't want to go out here and look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So give me your nominee. Is it going to be Chimaev? Am I wrong? Or are you going somewhere else?
I also have Ilya Topuria written down. Guy that was
as well.
super impressive. I think that he can be a champion at 145.
Really good.
I think he's really good. He's got slick stand up.
He's
Really
down Valerie Laredo. No big deal.
Is he really?
I think so.
Good for him. Well, he's sharing with George.
Well, yeah, George is like, nah, I've been there.
But yeah, he's one of the obviously Chimaev is an obvious one for rookie of the year. And then I also have Buckley on there just because that knockout and his stardom also grew a lot. And then Ilya Topuria really impressed the shit out of me. Jamal Hill too. Super impressive. Super impressive. There's a lot of really good rookies. Posca is also another one too. That's
you hate him. Don't say his name. Dev, I'm staring at you right now. I can't believe you haven't said this guy's name yet.
Yuri?
No. You're not allowed saying Yuri's name. I already told you that.
Oh.
How have you not said Adrian Yanez yet?
Oh yeah, well him as well.
Come on, plug your boy.
Him as well. He's been
I think you're right about him. I know you interviewed him. He was on, if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. I rewatched both those fights. I missed the second fight because I was actually out, but I think the kid's talented. I want to see him against a wrestler, but the kid's stand up is crisp. He's aggressive. He's got good camp. I don't think he's going to get fucking tired in there. I just want to see him really fight off some takedowns. I thought that'd be the first name in your mouth. Him or Chimaev. Who's your nominee though? Yeah, we're obviously going to have to give a fourth one because we're all going to have three. And we're going to have four, so we can debate that at the end. But right now, I need your nominee.
You have to go Chimaev. You have to go Chimaev. You just have.
No argument there. Timbo, we ran through a list. Who you got here? I'm curious.
I think Dev literally just said them all. But I mean, there are a couple, and there, I'd say this, I am the pick'em champ, definitely, but I think you guys are superior as far as like knowing a lot more of the.
You're game. There's no wrong with that because you're just a fucking gambler. When you pick, you're like, oh, what plus 220? I'll take him.
Right. Yeah. Someone who really, I think, has been fighting. I know he was fighting last year and maybe into 2018, but Ankalaev.
He had
much of last year.
For a while. Yeah.
But he's really impressed me this year. But granted, the first win over Kutalaba got bullshitted, even though it was about to happen, and then we saw
he was gonna get fucking slapped.
We saw the second fight what actually happened. A guy who I won a lot of money off of this year, honestly, was Brandon Royval.
I had him there too. Yeah, Royval looked good. Yeah,
he's coming off a loss to Moreno. You kind of say it was a bullshit loss because it was a freak injury. So I'm not going to hold that against him too much. But I think before that, he had 2 wins in
against solid fucking dudes.
Yeah, Guy France. Yeah, so I will go Royval. But like I said, Ankalaev is the one that kind of like really got my attention. Like I'm really looking forward to going into 2021 with this guy. And I'm wondering what's next for him.
I was gonna have, because he just signed a fight, Nikita Krylov, which is a great fight. Ankalaev is fighting Nikita Krylov. Yeah. I was gonna have a category. The 10th category was gonna be like breakout star of the year. I decided not to do that. I feel like Kevin Holland probably had that wrapped up, right? Yeah. Ankalaev would probably been a solid number 2. This is a guy I've been high on. He made his UFC debut, dominated, and then his second fight he lost to Paul Craig. He was dominating and then got submitted with a second round. Ever since then, he's like, I'm fuck going in the ground, like, because he was taking Paul Craig down because he's got a great, he's got that Russian fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm just going to knock these fucking dudes out. Like, he had a revelation. Like, I'm going to knock these dudes out. And Kutalaba, regardless, I think the guy's trash, but he's a fucking got a rock for a head. And basically, Ankalaev knocked him out twice. So I love Royval. I love Topuria. Deb brought up Topuria. I think he maybe should get a nomination. I also have Chaos Williams. I know he looked like shit against Pereira. It was a very close fight, but he had those 2 big knockouts. Adrian Nez is up there as well. Joaquin Buckley looked fantastic, even though he started the year with a loss. But he started the year with a loss against Kevin Holland, which was pretty competitive. I mean, if you rewatch that fight, it was Joaquin was crossing the body, and the one guy who slips through my crack all the time. What? No, that's not. Munir Lelez, who fought Al Rakazan, and the dude from Abu Dhabi who like basically got signed because like Dana White's son like knows him. That dude, I want to see more of him. He's definitely not going to get a nomination, but I definitely want to see more of that guy. He's got me intrigued.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it's down to Topuria or Buckley, if I'm being honest with you. Yanez is great. We can put him on there because he's basically MMA Takes royalty at this point for coming on the podcast. Buckley had the knockout of the year. And Topuria, I think we're all in the same boat. Like this kid won twice as an underdog, by the way. He was underdog in both those fights.
Ravel?
Yeah. No. Ravel was an underdog in the Elliott fight. He was a pick'em in the Kaikar France fight. Okay. And I think he was a big dog in the Moreno fight, though. I do remember that. Mm-hmm. But Topuria was a slight underdog in both his fights. Zalal and then the debut guy, I forget who he fought.
I thought he was a favorite against I think guy's name is something Damon
Jackson. I think
Jackson.
I think at one point, hang on a second. No, I'm not gonna do it. Sorry. I was gonna look up on my sheet. You might be right. I think it was a really close pick'em fight. Maybe not. I don't remember. Either way.
He's so good though, dude. Yeah. He's just so good.
I think it's gonna be between Buckley and Topuria. Who do you guys think?
Buckley.
Yeah.
I think Topuria could be a champion.
I'm gonna go Topuria too. I think Topuria. And listen, if he's little, he's a little motherfucker, and if he's piping down Laredo, I mean that's gonna get my vote right there. You know what I mean? Like I love how people shit on Laredo for showing her ass all the time. What the fuck? If I had a six pack, I'd be showing my shit all the time too. Leave her alone. I do have up my life, so I just don't show. I'm modest. That's it, baby.
Show it if you got it, right?
Yeah, that's what I say. Fuck it. That's the show. We're gonna the actual audio version will be up. Like I'm gonna post it right after this, and I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna start because it's a little late right now. I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna start getting the polls going on Twitter, and I'll do it on Instagram as well.
Sick.
That's it. Boy, 2021's here. We got one more week with no fights, and then we're back on. I think the next week, Devin and I picked the pay-per-view, which is in 2 weeks, but next week. For the 16th and the 20th, we should do like a mega pick'em card. Because next weekend, or no, this week coming up is blank. Then next weekend, there's a 16th, and that 20th is that Wednesday card. So we should do like a mega pick'em. Maybe we'll split it up in 2 different podcasts. We can record the same night though, to get the year off right, and we can do the new scoring system that I'm still tweaking with, and we'll do all that. Big things ahead, baby. Thank you for coming on. Hopefully your hoodies get there soon. Hopefully next time we do this, we're all wearing our hoodies.
Definitely.
I love
it. It's be cold enough, that's for sure.
Everyone that watched and commented and listened, all the people in the chat, all the people on Twitter, on YouTube, I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, let's fucking go, boys, huh?
Let's go.
It's a new beginning. It's a new beginning.
All right, I'll see you, boys.
Take care.
That was